I've always believed that when life is full of uncertainty, the perfect place to escape to is a garden. No matter the size, these precious patches of green have the power to heal and restore.
Which is why, for me, our gardens are more important than ever.
So I've been travelling the country.
Want me to come up?
Surprising some incredible people.
Oh my God!
Meeting the nation's unsung heroes.
I've been right at the bottom. She understands us as soldiers.
And the brave.
Are you proud of him?
I'm more than proud. Yeah, I am. I don't know how to cope without him.
So, with my dedicated team...
You are joking, Alan.
No, come back.
I'm turning dull backyards
What a lovely blank canvas.
into the gift
Oh my God.
of a garden
How is that even possible?
they'll love.
Welcome to Love Your Garden. Today, I'm in East Yorkshire, in the city of Hull, to meet an incredible young man. He's only 15, but he's an amazing example to us all. Hello.
Hello. Oh, hello.
How are you?
Hello.
Erica?
Yes, I am, yes.
Yes, I am. I'd love to see you. You look a bit surprised.
I am. I really am. Yes.
Shall I come in?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
A strange man on your doorstep. Hello. Nice to see you.
Wow.
I've heard
Yeah.
a lot about you.
Yeah, thank you.
Lovely to see you. I'm sorry about this. Ruining your afternoon.
Don't worry. No.
How have you been?
I'm good, thank you. Yeah.
Do you want to come over here and sit down? Oh, God. Bye.
Such a shock. It is.
Well, hopefully a nice one.
Yes, definitely,
Yeah.
isn't it? Oh, dear, love. All right, love. Right.
Yeah.
Single mum Erica brought up Harry and his brother in this house, which they now share with a menagerie of Harry's beloved pets, including Chalky and Jelly.
There's no point in asking how friendly your dogs are. So, Erica, tell me what happened.
Harrison first became poorly in January of last year. We thought he'd broken his leg. Harrison came out and said, Mum, I don't think they know what they're doing. They've x-rayed the wrong part of my leg. And they just said, oh, we're sorry to tell you, but he's got a tumour. So we think it's cancer. Yeah.
So a huge shock.
It just kind of hit me, and I was thinking, surely that's not right, and you're in the kind of like a dream world thing.
Harry had been diagnosed with osteosarcoma, or bone cancer, at just 15 years old.
We went down to see our consultant, and Bob said, I'm sorry to tell you that we don't think his leg will be savable.
The thought for anybody, Harry, of losing any part of your body, even if it's a finger, because it's all so familiar to you, is an enormous shock. I mean, were you shocked?
I mean, I was slightly shocked, but the thing is, I was kind of glad to just know like that pain's going to go away, because it was so big and the skin was shining and everything like that. It was like a silvery colour. I kind of knew myself that it wasn't going to be able to save it. It'd be impossible. It basically already eaten through the bone.
But you were given then the all clear.
We thought everything was clear, watched him ring the bell, everything went out for a nice
You ring
meal.
the bell when you're clear?
Yes, yeah, which we thought he had.
So how soon after that did it recur?
2 weeks.
2 weeks?
Yes.
Further scans revealed that the cancer had spread, and Harrison would need 3 more operations to remove tumours from his lungs.
As a mum, I just knew. And I turned round to my consultant and my maternal said, he's not going to make it, is he? And she said, do you want the truth? I went, yeah. She went, no, he's not. He won't going to make it. And that, it was terminal.
And how the heck did you feel?
I was more worried about my family than anything, to be honest, rather than myself. And, like, the thing of what they're going to have to deal with, like, once I've gone and things and stuff like that.
It's very hard for anybody to come to terms with.
Yeah.
You are remarkable at your age, being able to do it.
Yes.
Are you proud of him?
I'm more than proud. Yeah, I am. Yes, I am. I don't know how to cope without him.
But yeah, so, and then I was more worried about them, to be honest, than myself. I kind of came to terms with it and I was just like, right, let's get to doing all the stuff that I want to do before anything bad happens. So, yeah.
Do you know how long you've got?
They said 3 and 12 months, but it's a guess, really. It's just
We don't.
how long you want to fight for, isn't it, really?
There's a light in your eye that tells me you're a fighter.
Yeah.
Everybody who meets him have said he's an inspiration, you know, he's a lovely boy and everything. It's always positive all the way through.
Careful, that hat won't fit in a minute.
Harri is an amazing young man.
I look up to him. He's an absolute hero. Looking on the upside of life and just living it to the best he can.
Despite his diagnosis, Harri refuses to be defined by his illness.
That's great. We should get another photo of that. When he's around on the ward and in clinic, other people feel good about being around him.
Even when he's in hospital for treatment, Harri dedicates time to supporting other teenagers and young children going through the same thing.
He has been inspirational to the patients. He's taken people that are really quite quiet and kind of drawn them out a little bit. He's just, yeah, amazing.
Determined to make the best of what time he has left, Harri has created a bucket list. And on it is something very special.
On the top of this bucket list is a garden that you and your mum could be in.
It'd be brilliant to have, like, just a place to sit around and just, like, enjoy the time we have together and things like that. And even sometimes, like, even just by myself and thinking about things.
Yeah.
Well, I think we should, if I could, get up off the sofa. Harri, you take me
Chucky?
out there. I'll finish my tea. I'll see you outside.
Thank you.
Really
very
well
much,
done, love.
Alan.
You're very
Thank you.
welcome. Pleasure.
Chucky.
Pleasure. Oh, it's quite a big area, isn't it? It's quite a good square.
Fairly big garden, yeah.
Look at this. So you made this?
Yeah, so I made
it.
this with my uncle and my cousin.
That's obviously going to stay. So you're coming out that door. What do you want to find? What do you want to come into in this bucket list garden?
I love plants, all different plants, places for, like, where nature can be as well. I love ponds and things like that, and, like, things to do with, like, frogs. Like, we get frogs around the garden because we've got a pond at the back.
It turns out that as well as being a dab hand at DIY, Harri loves wildlife.
Getting big now.
And even has geckos and a tree dragon in his room.
So the more wildlife
Yeah,
you get
yeah,
in this
yeah, pretty
garden, the
much,
better.
yeah.
That'll
Yeah.
suit you. What about your mum?
I mean, Mum's, sometimes she needs just her own, like, little quiet space just to gather her thoughts and things like that and just be by herself for a few seconds without everybody else.
You, your mum, wildlife, dogs, cats.
Yeah. It's just a place to spend time together and somewhere that when things do get tough, it's a place, if I can't always go out, I can just come outside and I've
Have
got...
an ice cream.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the ice cream van. Thank
Come on,
you.
mate, let's go in.
Right.
See what we can do.
Transforming this overlooked 10 by 15 metre plot into a garden befitting this brave young man and his family is going to take a lot of imagination.
Well, wish us luck.
So, while I send Harri, his mum and menagerie off,
Bye-bye.
Bye.
I've engaged the services of my creative team, Katie Rushworth, Francis Tophill and David Dominy.
Hi.
Hello.
Now, I know all our gardens are special. Every last one of them. This one is particularly special because it's for an exceptional young man. Harri is 15. He is amazing. He reminds me of me when I was young because he's mad about nature.
Yeah.
And I want this garden to reflect that passion he has for nature, wildlife, all that kind of thing. And his mum, to whom he is so close, they want somewhere where they can be together, where they can entertain, where they can have special family time. So this is it. David, it's flat, it's boring, it's pretty featureless. But it certainly will be when we've cleared it out. So if you can play around with levels to give a bit of interest.
Okay. Are you wanting a lawn or not?
No.
No, so we'll
because
keep
it's got to
it
be
like-
mown. But I do want to compensate with the fact that we're not having a lawn by getting lots of greenery in.
Okay.
Katie.
Yes.
You get the left-hand side.
Okay.
Over here. I want you to major on wildlife over there.
So then, can I have a pond?
You can have a pond.
Yes.
Francis,
Yes.
you're down the end, OK? I'd like Harry to have an area that can be just his as well.
OK,
that's
so kind of getting
there.
down with the kids.
Yeah, I can barely get up with the kids.
To be honest.
Right, I want to do this central section here because what I want to do there is to make sure that Erica has somewhere as well. She's a mum who's got, you know, a lot to come to terms with. Important garden.
It is.
OK?
Yeah.
Let's go to it. Make a goodie. Come on.
Creating a garden with nature and spectacle to impress a teenager calls for some proper out-there thinking. And our Francis is straight onto it.
You want a blob?
Yes, please.
With a garden feature that's a Love Your Garden first.
There we go.
An outdoor cinema.
And I'm thinking cinema seating here and then a cool section at the back, which I have quite a nifty idea for. And then over there in that corner, I want to create something that's really just for Harry, a place he can hang out, all his favourite things. But there is an awful lot to do.
But this is just the tip of the iceberg. Transforming this space into Harry's dream garden
Like that.
is about balancing the elements of wildlife, water and fun. And this is how I'm hoping to do it. To seamlessly link my new design to the house, David will replace the old deck with a new one, onto which he'll add an outdoor kitchen. From here, a path will wind past Francis's outdoor cinema to Katie's wildlife zone, where she'll enlarge the pond to fit the space and create a chill-out area next to Harry's new shed so he can sit and enjoy the nature around him. And finally, at the heart of the garden will be my calming seating area for Erica, where she and Harry can spend precious time together next to a dry riverbed interplanted with soothing greenery. There's a lot going on. And it's as fiddly as it gets.
So how are we going to work this out then? Because I want it to be deep enough for wildlife.
You know, I have a feeling this design will test us.
Now, Alan's given us quite a bit of a challenge because it is a big garden. Not being able to use lawn means we have to look for lots of different alternative surfaces that are all low maintenance as well. So I've replaced that old deck that was there made out of wood. This is in fact a composite deck, plastic really, so it'll never rot. Needs no maintenance whatsoever, and of course it's non-slip as well. Here we go, Tim, you got it?
With all the banging and noise, you'd be forgiven for thinking that you can't create a secluded wildlife-friendly retreat here. But think again.
I've come to a garden in Lincoln that proves you most certainly can.
The owners of this garden have cleverly transformed a regular suburban plot just like Harry's into a stunning leafy retreat. And if you look closer, you'll also discover it's a wildlife wonderland.
Nothing could be more stylish than this. A very classy water feature in the corner. Indian slate behind it, and then these little pipes coming and cascading into an urn.
This vertical water wall soothes the senses with the restful music of a natural stream. And birds and amphibians just love splashing about on the wet paving below. Pass through a gate, and you step into a lost world of large shrubs and small trees like acers, birches and bamboos, beneath which lies a carpet of woodland ferns, perfect for creepy crawlies.
We're getting wilder by degrees. Here, a little gurgling water feature and a shallow stream, wonderful for wildlife because it's not too steep-sided. They can get in and out to drink or to bathe. But now a boardwalk. The lovely thing about boardwalks, if they're clean cut, they take style through into wilderness, if you want, and then the boardwalk becomes a bridge.
And it's where the bridge takes you that's really caught my eye. Nestled on a pond and enveloped by trees is a terracotta-roofed cabin, within which the sounds of the surrounding world disappear and you can be lost in the healing power of nature.
I think that Erica and Harry will love something like this.
It's certainly very relaxing here. I wonder how it's going in Hull.
Oh my God, that's awful. I think the digger's going to have to come out on this, Pete.
Digging out Katie's supersized pond means battling through a welter of clay.
Won't come out!
This is all well and good having the digger to dig out the pond, but this is what we've got to plant in later.
This is going to be even tougher than I thought.
Is that your pond?
Yeah, do you like it?
It's impressive, but how is Harry going to get across to his shed?
It's all in hand, Francis. Don't you worry.
We're in Hull,
Will it be a boat? Are there boats involved?
There's no boats involved.
making good progress with the hard landscaping for a wildlife-friendly garden for brave 15-year-old Harri Torr, who's battling terminal cancer.
Just lining the pond with sand, and that will protect the pond liner from any sharp things that might poke through and puncture a hole in it. That's the last thing we want. Really, you want as few folds in this as possible, so it's about going slowly and just smoothing out areas as best you can. At this point, it looks really ugly. You have to be patient, you have to have vision.
Definitely.
Just like the garden I saw in Lincoln,
Down this way.
Kate is bridging the pond
Perfect.
to connect the rest of the garden to Harry's shed in the corner.
We needed a garden path, but I didn't just want any garden path. I wanted one to go over the pond, so it gets you right from the deck up at the top of the house, down here to this bottom corner. So I've used this lovely big zigzag shape, and it actually is wider at this end, and then it tapers thinner down here, so it cheats perspective as well. We're getting there.
Talk about clearing the decks. And the decks. David, yes. Well, you've given me space.
I have.
I'll give you that.
There's quite a lot of it as well.
So we've got composite decking up there, which
We have.
because it all looks terribly hard at the moment.
It does. So these will be planters here. These pockets that I'm digging out here
Yeah.
will be planting, and right behind you, I've left that open for your tree.
Thank you very much. Good. Right, so are you all right there?
Oh, yeah. I was in the zone there.
Good. So what have you lined it with?
Butyl, so it's a rubber liner.
You can tension it a bit as the water fills up.
Exactly. So, yeah, it's getting there.
Good. Francis,
Yes.
you've got holes in your deck.
They're going to be something really good.
Are they?
I hope so.
Oh, this. And now look at that.
On the bucket list,
Yeah.
cinema screen.
He's going to be blown away, Harry.
And I
He's going
might-
to absolutely love that.
I'm going to try and maybe even add another layer to it as well. We'll see.
At the moment, it's a blooming builder's yard.
I've also been inspired by the water feature I saw in Lincoln for my sanctuary for Harry's mum, Erica.
This is the area that I want Erica to enjoy, a place to chill out, a bit of a sanctuary, if you like, for her, because, you know, Harry's going through what Harry's going through, and Erica as his mum. Now, I've got two of these letterboxes here. The water's going to come out and over these in a great sheet. They're sitting there. They're going to disgorge their water into a reservoir at the bottom from which it will be pumped round and recirculated. When that's tiled, it will attract you over, it'll pull you over. We're putting spacers in between them, just in the tiniest gap so that we can point in between that. Right, James?
On the other side of my wall, Francis has raised the colour stakes. And he's helping professional graffiti artist Megan Russell.
That looks ace.
to create a mural for Animal Mad Harry, a giant chameleon.
Now, and I overlay the image, and then from that I can see where I'm going to place the lines.
Right, should we begin?
Yeah, let's do it.
Sure.
That's it. That's it.
This is good. Harry's going to love this.
One of Harry's real-life lizards, his gecko...
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Alan, that's supposed to be your water feature, not one up there. What's he doing?
is kept in his bedroom, in this compact but carefully planted vivarium. And that's given me an idea.
I think we could do something a bit more spectacular than that for his geckos.
And who better to help me build a new mini tropical paradise
Oh, that's fantastic, yeah.
than Harry himself?
Yeah.
Probably get a few more in then, can't you?
Well, most likely, but, yeah.
Right, well, we'll get all these bits of wood in. Look at this is enormous. You see, gardening never stops, you see. I can even do it for geckos. Devil's ivy, which is...
Ah, yeah.
Yeah?
Devil's ivy or golden pothos gives the lush green look we're after, and the crested geckos love the cover that the broad leaves provide.
What does your mum think of your geckos and your wildlife keeping?
Well, she's not a big fan of the animals, but I guess it's just kind of become the norm.
Yeah, love me, love my geckos kind of thing.
Yeah.
Are they tricky things to look after?
No, they're easy. Well, to me they are. It is, but yeah.
because you've got used to them.
Yeah, yeah,
You know
after a while.
Do you know, when I was a kid, I used to have vivariums, but they were about this big.
Yeah.
And all they had in was a little bowl with tadpoles in. And the tadpoles turned into little frogs about that big. Does it help having wildlife and stuff like that?
It does a lot, because, like, even, like, on a night when I'm just feeling a bit, like, down, I can just get them out of the tanks and hold them for a bit. Sometimes you can even speak to them. I mean, they're not going to speak back, but...
Well, they're not going to argue, are they?
No.
You really do seem to me to be determined to live what there is.
It's more about making the most of life and everything else, and even if you are got a diagnosis or something like cancer or something like that, or a life-limiting illness, you still got to keep going at it. You've got to live every day like you are dying, really, and that's the way you've got to live life.
A bit of leaf litter. Now, they'll like this, I think, won't they?
Oh, they'll love it. They will love it, because they're tree animals. They'll be up here most of the time, and they're...
Ready to take pride of place in Harry's bedroom, this lushly planted vivarium is done.
There we are. Gecko heaven.
Indeed, yeah.
Nature is clearly very important to Harry, so it's critical that Katie's new pond becomes a destination for the wildlife he loves.
I want some more, please. Yeah, keep on coming.
A mainstay of the British backyard for decades, when it comes to a natural style of garden, a pond is a must. But in Wiltshire, amateur gardeners Finn and Nikki have gone above and beyond. The gigantic pond at the heart of their 3.5-acre garden has turned it into a nature reserve.
There's extraordinary things that we witness here. It's a nesting site for birds and for all wildlife.
In warmer months, their wildlife pond also accommodates them.
Hi, Finn.
I hope Katie isn't planning to give that a go today.
I see you've already invited the wildlife in.
Yes, we have a bit of a snail problem in the garden.
So this
is the pond.
What kind of wildlife do you have coming to visit then?
The otters, they come and they fish in the water. And you can see that they slip in and out. They've got their favourite little slides into the water.
I can't believe you get otters. I'm
We're
very,
so lucky.
very envious of that.
Finn and Nikki have even set up a night camera and caught their nocturnal visitors playing happily at the waterside.
So it must have taken a whopping big liner.
Oh, it was huge. Almost the most expensive thing we've done in the garden, £1,000.
OK.
And none of the shrubs over there were planted then, so luckily we had an area where we could lay it out and unfold again and again, until finally we saw what an enormous thing we'd bought.
There's lots of plants in there.
There are some things that have really gone wild. One that's worked so well is the marsh marigold. It's got such an amazing colour.
Yeah.
We love the vibrancy of it.
From early spring, along with the water lilies, other aquatic and bog plants provide badly needed nectar.
I really like how you've brought the landscape right up to the pond. These birch look fabulous. This little seat's lovely.
Well, a pond is somewhere you want to come and sit.
And I'm a big fan of the bridge.
Yes. Nowhere else you can get close to the water.
Yeah.
But here you can kneel down and watch the newts just come up from the depth, have a little gulp of air, then go back down.
Now, I know you and Nicky love a dip in this pond. And if it was warmer, I might be tempted myself. But in Hull, that's something I'm going to have to think about because I don't want, anybody falling in.
No, that's true.
It's joyful.
It's strange to us to think this is something we did. We came, we dug, we put a liner in, and now nature is saying, no, I've always been here.
It's going to be really nice to put something like this in for Harry. I think he will love it.
Oh, my goodness.
It might be a fraction of the size.
Got there?
Yeah, please.
But Katie's wildlife ambitions for Harry's pond
Oh, yeah, nice.
aren't any smaller. She's starting by masking the edge of her unattractive pond liner using rocks and pebbles to create a beach-like entrance to her pond.
Oh, and that tucks quite nicely into the edge there.
Around 1/3 to 1/2 of your pond surface should be given over to plants.
I've got some lovely things going in.
Variety's important too.
This is a water spearmint and it smells incredible, really great. And this is club brush and it's really clever. Throughout daylight hours, it will release bubbles of oxygen, which will improve the quality of the water, therefore making happier frogs, fishes and anything else that want to come visit.
At half the price of water lilies, Katie's also adding Finn and Nicky's cheerful pond favourite.
This is marsh marigold, and early in the year, kind of late springtime, it has these amazing bright yellow buttercup flowers. It's so pretty.
There's still a way to go, but once it's done, this bespoke 3-metre wide wildlife pond will sit perfectly at the heart of my design.
Katie, I've got something for your pond.
What is it?
A little bit of wildlife for Harry here. You ready? There he goes.
Look at him!
Look at him there. Isn't he? Look, he's just checking it out.
Come on, David. Oh, he's stubborn as ever.
One of the key challenges of this design is creating seclusion and privacy in this overlooked plot.
1, 2, 3.
OK.
Oh, blimey.
So our very natural solution...
That in the back there might do what you want it to do and hide that it looks too fancy.
...is to surround the boundary with trees.
Trees are marvellous things. They're often overlooked in preference for flowers, but I love them. And the reason I'm planting them along here, it offers a screening, but also trees can offer so much for birds, for pollinators, even for the fungus that's in the soil. What I'm planting in this corner is a crabapple, or malus, and a cherry, or prunus. And they both happen to be members of the same magical family, the rose family. So is this, the rowan. And the thing about the rose family is it's so very useful. It's really fantastically useful for wildlife with its fruits, and flowers are fantastic for pollinators, but it's also really useful for us. So if one autumn you're feeling very selfish and you want to take these crab apples and make a jelly with them, then we can eat them too. But I'm hoping that Harry won't do that because he will want the birds to come and get as much pleasure from this as possible.
Behind the pond, inspired by her trip to Wiltshire, Kate is creating a mini woodland of birches.
We've got a lovely small leaf, so they'll create a nice dappled shade over the pond here. And also, they'll be brilliant for birds. Birds love shelter. In order to want to come and drink from the pond, they will really like having this cluster of birch trees in here to hide in.
On the other side of the garden,
Fix that on.
my water feature is just about done,
It's all happening down here.
but it's looking a little brutal. So to soften it, I'm arranging different sized stones.
Lovely.
With pockets of planting to create the look of a dry river bed.
OK. I do love the combination of foliage and cobbles. And these irises here with their sword-like leaves, not only are they happy growing near water, they prefer it, But the combination of sword-like leaves and rounded cobbles is a wonderful contrast for me. Oh, it's raining again! Hurrah, hurrah! Where's me coat?
At least I can stop watering and get back to planting. While they enjoy my new water feature, Harri and Erica will look across to another bed where I'm adding Panicum virgatum, or switchgrass.
That lovely boardwalk I saw in the garden earlier that went through plants and then over the pond. Well, we're copying that, and I wanted it to come down here through these billowing grasses so that when they've sat up from the rain, you feel as though you're sort of walking almost through a water meadow, really, and over the pond to the pavilion at the end.
Meanwhile, over the wall...
I'm covering this area with gravel just to finish it off really nicely. And underneath the gravel is this honeycomb matting which keeps the gravel in place, stops it moving around and makes it nice and easy and safe to walk on. And it comes with this integrated membrane that stops weeds coming through, so it's really low maintenance. Suddenly, this area will begin to feel like it's nearly finished.
With another burst of rain forecast, I've arranged to meet Erica to find out more about Harri and how we can make this garden a place both of them will really love.
What sort of little lad was he?
Well, he was known as a joker at schools, so they just thought everything was just a laugh and a joke, and he wasn't there to learn. As he got older, I think that's when the maturity came in.
Have you been surprised at his strength?
Definitely. I think he's been born for a reason, and I think that is to just show people how strong people can actually be. Even when he was last in hospital, because he had hair then when his hair had grown back, he had the nurses dyeing his hair pink. That is the attitude he has. Everything's fun. Life's for living and not for crying and not for moping. We just carry on as normal, and I think you've got to be strong. When you've got a child with cancer, you have to be strong as well. It's going to take me a while to let go of him. And that's the hardest part. I've got to let go. I want him with me at home so I can say bye to him.
So a garden is important. It's on his bucket list.
Yes, it is. He's always said about the garden, I'd like somewhere for Harrison just to be able to go outside in the garden and shout and scream if he needs to, cry if he needs to. And I think a garden would be lovely for him.
But somewhere for you as well.
Yeah, I think that's when we'll start talking about what we need to talk about, when it's just me and him, nobody else around, and we can sit somewhere nice. But I'm just hoping we get the year and not months. But we'll only know 2 weeks before the end. Because with osteosarcoma and cancers, that's when his body will start just shutting down. I'd just like to know that I can put his bed at the end of where the French doors are and he can see into his garden and enjoy the last minutes as a view.
So the important thing is to make the time he's got left as good as it can possibly be.
Definitely, definitely.
And the garden will do that?
Yeah, yeah. But he said whatever the garden is, it's only for him and Choky. His dog. It don't matter about anybody else as long as he can have time with his dog and enjoy his dog, I think.
Dog friendly?
Yeah.
OK. Well, we'll do our best.
Thank you very much.
No parent can imagine a worse scenario than losing a child. It's not the natural order of things. But when the unthinkable happens, it takes a special kind of parent to find a way through the woods. Erica and Harri have a limited amount of time together. It's up to us to make that time special.
So I now know exactly how I need to finish.
Everything's getting covered in mud.
My quiet patio area.
This particular spot here is where I want Erica and Harri to be able to sit and just have time together. So I'm going to put a bench in here that they can sit on.
And by surrounding them with dense foliage, I'm hoping to create a mini sanctuary for mother and son to retreat to when the going gets tough.
Colour from things like this dogwood here. Scent some lavender and rosemary. This is sarcococca, the Christmas box. Those little tiny pale green buds there in December and January open into white whiskery flowers that have the most exquisite perfume. You'll be a couple of yards on and you'll think, what's that? Well, it's sarcococca, the plant with a secret up its sleeve.
A new garden for him and his mum was high up on Harry's bucket list, but not far below was something else we can do for him.
On Harry's bucket list is planting a tree, so he'll have a job planting this on his own, so we'll do the ceremonial bit with me getting it in. I'll leave him a few shovelfuls to put on the end. Let it go, Pete, let it go. That's it. I think I've got a bit of pruning to do on there, haven't I? This is a lovely, finely cut form of the sumac, Ros typhina. And a wonderful autumn colour. This will turn absolutely scarlet and orange before these leaves fall. Come and look at these, you see. This is what you want to be taking off. That's died. It's been damaged and it's died all the way down there. So you want to take that right back to where there's living tissue.
Now there's the business of getting it in.
Right, OK. Pop it in the hole and then we'll give it a twist.
At just the right angle.
Clockwise, please, Pete. Keep going. Keep going. Bit more. Whoa. That's about it. OK, a little bit more turning.
This could take a while.
OK, keep going.
See you in 5.
Bit more.
We're in Hull. And guess what?
Pouring down now.
I think that'll do.
So Frances has had to come up with a clever all-weather solution to her outdoor cinema.
Look, you can just unhook it. Then they can keep it indoors, which makes it much more
good
sensible.
idea. Very good idea.
When it's dry enough for Harry and his friends to enjoy an open-air popcorn experience...
Right, let's test this out.
They can now recline in true VIP style.
So you can put your cushions there and just sit and watch whatever is on the screen. Or just look at my mate the comedian.
Lovely.
David's new dining area for the family is looking, well, almost finished. But he promised a kitchen, too.
That's it. You put your air. That's it in. Now, this is the base unit for my outdoor kitchen. I've got something really special to put on the top of this.
With a bit of care...
In there.
Marble and other solid stones like granite...
Lower, lower.
...will perform well as outdoor countertops.
Look at that.
And to top it off, it seems he's trying to put Harry's favourite takeaway out of business.
Now, Harry likes pizzas. Have a look at this. Hopefully, he's going to be made up with this.
Finished off with a mini greenhouse full of Tuscan-inspired herbs.
Oh, and a bit of rosemary. I love that. On a pizza bread, a little bit of butter. It's gorgeous.
With the wildlife well taken care of, Katie's final child-friendly flourish for her nature pond has arrived.
This stuff is going to make my wildlife pond safe.
She's creating a safety grid just under the surface using a framework of metal crossbeams, onto which individual square grids of strong plastic are added.
And then we've got adjustable legs, so you can adjust it depending on the height of your pond, even if it has shelves or marginal shelves, which mine does. And then I'm going to cut the edge of my pond so it will tuck really nicely around the existing shape and around the plant pots they're in. Either way, it means that the children are safe, but the frogs can still visit. And there we go. Who would have thought you could walk on water?
Now, it just needs a convenient seat to enjoy it from. Harry's pallet sofa that he made himself is having a facelift.
You know, if I built a bench like this when I was Harry's age, I'd be pretty proud of my work. I think he's done a marvellous job. I only hope he's going to be pleased with the few touches that I've added to it. We're going to go just in front of this birch here and then at the back of that Eleagnus. OK. How about that? Pride of place.
Ooh, we have water. Can you turn it down a bit? That one's lovely. It's nice and calming. This one being higher up is a bit more refreshing.
We're almost there now.
Nice green, David.
Are you all right?
You finished?
Nearly.
And despite the weather in Hull being most unkind, me and my rather soggy team, as we always do, so far, have got the job done.
So, are we wet?
Yes.
Are we cold?
Yes.
Are we disheartened?
No.
Oh, right answer. And you've done the most cracking job, guys. I think Harry and Erica are going to be well chuffed. OK? Come on.
Just a few days ago, this garden was an uninviting, run-down plot, overlooked by neighbours, offering nothing more than a patch of lumpy lawn and a sliver of slippery decking. And our brave teenager Harry desperately wanted to change it. So that's what we've done. Now it's a bucket list busting delight, a safe haven for Harry, his family, pets, and above all, nature. There are places for family to gather and have fun, to celebrate life and make memories. Restful nooks with inviting spots for quiet conversations and moments of reflection. Through an exciting natural landscape of wafting grasses and whispering trees, David and Katie's zigzagging boardwalk cuts a mini adventure across the garden, leading over Katie's child-safe wildlife pond and straight to Francis's exclusive hideout for Harry, complete with all his teenage essentials. And last but not least, wrapped in a leafy glade is Francis's open-air movie hub, awaiting its first moonlit premiere. For more information on how we built this garden, go to itv.com/Alan.
Welcome back.
Hello.
Good to see you. How'd you come? You OK?
I'm good, thank you. Yeah.
You're all right. Welcome home. Come up here. Come and have a look.
Just 5 months ago, Harry wrote a list of the things he wanted to achieve in the time he had left.
If you feel you have to look, just look at your feet.
And right up there was an outdoor space that he, his mum, and his beloved pets could call their own.
Here's your mums. Don't open your eyes until I tell you.
This brave and inspirational young man has touched us all over the last few days. And all I can say is I hope we've done him proud.
Erica and Harry, open your eyes.
Wow. It doesn't look like we're at home.
No, it doesn't. It looks like somebody else's garden. It doesn't look anything like mine at all.
It's yours.
Absolutely beautiful. Oh, it's gorgeous.
Come with me.
Oh, Harry, look.
It's magic.
So big decking area.
It's not slippery
Oh,
either.
my word.
Have you seen
Oh, wow.
the little lizard?
Look.
I love the little lizard.
Barbecue area.
That's fantastic.
It doesn't even look like we're in our garden anymore.
You may recognise the bench.
My bench,
Yes,
that's my
it's all
bench.
been
Yeah,
planted
yeah.
as well, Harry.
It looks fantastic. I was speechless, really.
We made your pond a bit bigger.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
it's
It's
gorgeous.
beautiful.
There's no mistaking whose it is.
Oh, there's a tent to it.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
that is fantastic. Oh, that is brilliant. I love that. I love all the photos on the wall as well.
And we wanted something for the dogs.
The chalky and jelly on
Oh,
the
you've
balls.
got the names on.
Yeah.
Now, on your bucket list,
Yeah.
it said, I want to plant a tree.
It does, yeah.
That's it. You tilt it forward. That's it. You got it.
It's going to make a difference, a massive difference, because while I'm in the house and I can't get out sometimes, this is going to be a kind of an escape area for me, and it's like I'm somewhere else, really, and it's just going to be fantastic.
You're very welcome.
Yeah, no, thank you very much, thank you. Right.
It's lovely.
Thank you.
Pleasure. Great pleasure.
Really, it's magic. It's literally, it's amazing.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's film is now showing.
Is that your animation?
Yeah.
It's not.
That's what this scene was the West.
Making gardens is always difficult and time-consuming, especially this one, battling the weather and the light. It's nearly dark, but I think we can see from Harri and Erica's reaction that this is a garden they love and that they'll really enjoy spending time in. Harri says, make every second count, make every moment special.
Yeah.
I hope that Harri and Erica have many more special moments in this garden. Till the next time on Love Your Garden, good night.
Next time.
Oh, lovely.
I surprise an amazing lady.
Melt in the mouth.
Who's baked more than 250,000 cakes.
How long did it take to bake this lot?
For our wounded servicemen and women.
She looks after us all, really. She understands us as soldiers.
And I turn her unruly plot into a tea time treat.
Oh, wow!
One of my favourite parts of the garden, the waterfall. Most of all, a big thank you to all of you at Love Your Garden. Absolutely love my little house at the moment. Spending a lot of my time in here, 90% of my time really. So just a big thank you to everybody.
Thank you!